What's going on, YouTube? It's James with my Fantasy Battle Report's got another battle report for you today. It's the ETC 2023 Amsterdam. Not even round number one. This is actually the practice round. I got a practice round during the ESC. I would have done the ESC, by the way. I'm going to clarify this. I got questioned while I was there. People are like, oh, you're in the ESC. I was not in the ESC. You know why? Because there was a dumb-ass vote. A dumb-ass vote that they had for the Orcs and Goblins new book at ESC, but the old book at ETC. And you know how many people showed up with the Orc and Goblin new book at ESC? One fucking person. One fucking person. He did okay, actually. I watched part of his game. And I was actually just interested in seeing what kind of list he would bring and everything. But I think in round 5, he was on table 5, and then he got smoked. And he got I think 0 points. I'm going to go ahead and just look this up really quick because I am here right now and might as well just look up the ESC results. Anyways, oh shit, never mind. I fucked that up. Alright, anyways, going forward, I got, Amanda and I were moving from one hotel to another hotel. We had conversations with, people who are coming in town, and just to be very clear here, it cost about 50 euros to take a taxi from the hotel we were staying to the center of downtown. Anytime somebody would come from, you know, our friends from the other countries are like, hey, we're in town, come downtown to meet us and have dinner. I'm like, shit, man, I don't want to spend this money. I don't want to spend fucking 50 euros to take a taxi. Now, you could take the shuttle bus from the airport, or from the hotel to the airport, and then take a train from the airport down to downtown. And I told Amanda, I was like, Amanda, it's going to still cost us a shit ton of money to go out there, but we could go to the ESC and see a good chunk of our friends who are at the tournament. And she was like, fuck it, let's go. So we went to the ESC instead. So we went to the ESC, we hung out with Bob and Nick for a while. He was he was playing, actually. So we got to see him play for a bit, and then we saw a bunch of our friends. We saw our teammates. We saw Lucas, Gonzalo, and Jorge competing in the ESC. Lucas was doing really well when I walked by. Gonzalo says he's not doing well, but he's always doing well. And then what ended up happening was, while I was there, somebody responded and said, on the ETC chat, he's looking for a game. He goes by the Dark Lord. So I was like, sure, I'll fucking play. I brought my army just so I could drop it off, so it's less stuff to bring the next day or during the ETC. So that's what this game is. This game is against Merlin, who is not the Dark Lord. The Dark Lord was there, and he is on Team Belgium. But he was specifically, let me look up. He said, if I had my choice between Sylvan Elves or, I think, Infernal Dwarves, I told him I was fine going either way, and he was just like, play him. I was like, okay. Pairings, teams. Let's see, Belgium. No, he was not Infernal Dwarves. He was Undying Dynasties. Either way would have sucked for me. Yeah. So anyway, so I'm playing Merlin. Now the guy, you know, this is actually a very interesting game, for the record, because this is somebody who doesn't know who the hell I am. He's never watched my battle reports. This is probably gonna be the first battle report he ever sees of me. He watches Furion, he said, but he had no idea who I was. While this was happening, a lot of people kept coming up to me and, like, you know, greeting themselves at the table, and his friend was over there telling him, the Dark Lord, Guy, which is actually his name, Guy. He's like, yeah, this guy's very famous. This guy's very famous. He's like, oh, that's bad luck if you keep on saying you're very famous. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just here to play, man. But I'm like, it's kind of interesting to see somebody, especially a Sylvan Elf player, who's never seen one of my battle reports, to see how I play against Sylvan Elves. And that was one thing. The second thing is, even though everybody kept saying I'm famous, I'm looking at this guy, and he looks like he's famous. He looks like the fucking guy from Detroit Rock City, and there's no way in hell you're going to convince me otherwise that the guy from Detroit Rock City, who stopped making movies a long time ago, his name goes by Jam in the movie, stopped making movies a long time ago and retired and probably went to Belgium and started playing a fucking Sylvan Elf army. There's no way in hell you can convince me otherwise. This is that guy, okay? Anyways, let me actually pull up his list. Let's see. Let's pull up his list and go over what he has and what I have. Alright. So the first thing Merlin has is he has a this is something that I've seen on quite a few lists, especially for Sylvan Elves in the ETC. He has the triple wizards going on. He has Cosmo Shaman Druidism. They pair it up with good shooting with the archers, Pathfinder Sylvan Sentinels, and then they also have the Heath Riders, the with the hunting whatever the banner that gives them distracting, which is that it's not the hunting. Hold on, that's the predator pennant. There you go. He has another unit of Heath Riders, but these are more chaff. Then he has a unit of 6 thicket beasts. This is something different that I didn't see in many lists. And then he has 12 blade dancers and 7 huntsmen and 10 briar maidens. So he has some poison shooting. He has some shooting that's very consistent, and then he has 2 units that you really don't want to fight much into while he shoots at you. Okay, now as I'm setting up, we did take a while to set up, and it was funny because we were trying to figure out how to put the trolls together and everything like that. That's basically my list right there. This is my ETC list. I'm just going to kind of run through it real quick. On the left, you see I have a unit of Iron Orcs. I actually have a bigger tray for them. I couldn't find the tray, and plus, I wasn't going to fight the guy in Horde formation. So I was just like, yeah, that's fine. We'll just fight like this. I got my Feral Orc Ed Bashers. Now, I do have the Mammoth Dabba. The Iron Orcs, which is Dread's Iron Boys. Dread's Iron Boys. Dread is actually rocking out with a what is that called? Tuck guard with pinch and protect and shady shanking. Then I also have the unit with the Mykonox Totem. That makes that whole unit right there. The Mykonox Totem being able to turn off people's items. A magic item that could be a threat to Zod or Dread. I'm sorry, Dread. I had my first Freudian slip there. And then I got the Feral Orc Bashers with the Green Tide banner. Of course, the 30 goblins on the right. That is my goblin horde. My goblin horde, the little goblin city. I have 3 shady gits, which on this moment I realized I brought 3 squig hoppers, and I was like, perfect, you guys are the shady gits. They're in the unit. I do have them with the Legion banner if I go up ranked up. I got my BGKs, which are my Bazooka's Gortat killers. I do got Bazooka. I got Baxter, the Pyromaniac. I brought 2 skewers. I got King Koopa, and then I got the 8 cave trolls. I got the Nashers, and that's about it. I think that's the list. The list is very compact. It's very blocky, but this is honestly the last list that I'm going to bring with the old book, and it was kind of my send-off tournament was the ETC, man. All right, for my Wizard Crown on King Koopa, I did get the Raven's Wing. He's like, oh, Raven's Wing, that's pretty good. I go, man, I never fucking use Raven's Wing. I literally almost always get it, and I literally never fucking use it. I hate Raven's Wing that much. All right. And, yeah. So these are his spells. He has a bajillion spells. Summer Growth, Stone Skin, Master of Earth, Fountain of Youth, Ice and Fire, Perception of Strength, and then he had, Weaken the Beast. Enforced Embrace. Alright, so we're playing, we decided to play the rules from the ETC. This was Dawn Assault, I think. I'm trying to remember if it was Dawn Assault Flags or Dawn Assault, King of the Hill, or what it was. It was King of the Hill, I want to say. And the terrain I was supposed to get to was the water terrain back there, and then the terrain that he was supposed to get to was the fields in front of me. Now, first of all, before I actually show you, this shows you deployment right here, okay? And I believe he's going first, but check out these maps, okay? I had mixed feelings about these maps. This is A7, by the way, but if you were to go on to Universal Battle, or if you were just to check out the map packs from the ETC, these are the map packs literally printed on the map. The 2D terrain is printed on the map itself, and not only that, but you see all those little faint lines and stuff. That is the deployment type. So are you deploying diagonal? Are you deploying encircled? Are you deploying with guys? There's this shy ambulance outside. You can barely hear it. I know the video, my recording doesn't ever really pick it up anymore. Anyways, he has a, it has classic battle line, it has the encircle, it has the diagonal, it has everything printed on there. The best part about this was they were giving them away at the end. They said they didn't want them, take them with the next year. They're having a new map pack, so every team got to pick up 4. My brother did pick up 1. I actually gave mine to one of my coaches, and I don't know what happened to the other 2. Maybe George took one. I don't even remember. Anyways, we're playing Dawn Assault. And so what ends up happening is I pick sides, and I believe I took this side, he took that side, and then he ended up picking the water terrain for his King of the Hill. He put his forest right in between the terrain of the water and the ruins. Okay? Doing so creates a fucking devastating uh, dangerous terrain, dangerous terrain, dangerous terrain. Now, this is a practice game. I'm going to be straight up with you guys. I played it as a practice game. This is my first game back after not playing for about a couple weeks because of the trip. Okay, John has been bugging me. Oh, I want more battle reports. I'm like, dude, I'm going to Amsterdam. I'm trying to get the battle reports up. I'm trying to put this up, right? And so that's one thing. The second thing is I enjoyed doing this game because it kind of gave me the chance to like break some rust on deployments and stuff like that. Seeing my models on the table is one thing, uh, and you know, I make mistakes in this game, which I'm fine with because it was a practice game. You'll see that in a minute. All right. So I put my Iron Orcs on the left. I put my Trolls in the middle. He has first turn. Like I said, I put my goblins in the back there, force goblins in the forest, and then my spider in the forest as well. I never know where to put the goddamn skewers. I always just put them somewhere like, here's good enough. I don't know. I'm not a war machine guy. I'm about to be though. All right. As you can see, he ends up. I end up scouting my grotlings in the center of the table. He. This list basically makes me learn something right away. I'll explain that at the beginning of my turn with the grotlings. But anyways, I deploy my grotlings right in the center of the table. Didn't really give him much of a charge. If he wanted to, I didn't really care. But I left it far enough where his overrun would be kind of far. He goes ahead, and we're going to go into turn one. Sylvan Elves turn one. He goes ahead and he moves his Heath Riders right there. His Huntsmen are behind the Heath Riders. His Archers are even further behind them. He goes ahead, and this is something I found really, really not funny, but like eye-opening to me. Was you see how my opponent's putting all his markers? This is proper etiquette, by the way. This is proper etiquette in ETC. You put your markers there. If you're unsure of where you're gonna move your guys to, you put your markers down. You can move them. If you don't like it, you can put them right back at the marker. Right? I had no markers on my guys because I was confident where the fuck I was going. It was so stupid, but it was kind of like, yeah, I just know what the fuck I'm doing in my army already. And but you'll see. His guys in the forest are his what are they called? The dancers. The what the fuck are they called? The blades. Blade dancers. There you go. I was right. On the left, he has Heath Riders with his big unit with the pendant, and then the character on the left side there. His other characters are one. The BSB is inside the blades, and then he has two shamans in the or two druids in the archers. His thicket beasts are hiding behind a wall, and then his other guys are all behind the hills and stuff, going to shoot the fuck out of me over here. Magic. I don't even know what that is, but it's a two. It's a 2 card. He has 5 on dice. He has 6 dice. First thing he does is he does ice and fire here. I kind of let it go, and it fucks me up. It fucks me up pretty big. He ends up hitting 11 of my goblins, and he roasts a bunch of them, right? He goes ahead and that was it for magic. I think most of the other stuff I stopped over here shooting. He starts shooting into my goblins. He ends up killing off more of them. He ends up killing off 4, 5, 6, 6. Actually, I think this might have been the ice and fire, or that I stopped his other spell, and that was it. Over here shooting, he's going to shoot his sentinels into my spider. Ends up doing a single wound. His archer shooting to my black orcs and my black boys. Iron boys, I'm sorry. Alright, and he ends up killing off a couple of them, and that is about it. That's how the table looks. Now, for the record, I really contemplated charging my grotlings into his huntsman if I was going to touch 1, maybe 2 of them. This is the part where I was going to tell you I'm going to get back to it. He thought my grotlings fly because I was too goddamn lazy to paint up miniatures for the grotlings, and I just brought these flying squigs that I've had since End Times, 8th edition. And when he said that, I was like, yeah, I really should explain to everybody that these guys don't fly, because that was just an assumption, and it made an ass of him and myself, because he was assuming that if I fly in, I'm going to have to get them all into his huntsman. I'm over here thinking like if I just corner clip them, I don't have to get that many into combat, and they'll hold the huntsman still for a while, right? That being said, I decided not to charge because I think he had just enough attacks to break my to kill my grotlings. I think I'll actually touch three of his guys. He's hitting me on twos, wounding me on twos, and then he has the elks. I think I lose the grotlings to a man. I might have stuck a point or two. We'll see. But there's a big but here. All right, I decided not to charge. I decided not to charge. I decided to use my grotlings as chaff, move my trolls up, move my iron boys up, go ahead and I move my Foot Clan on the right side up. I actually move the BG case behind the hill because I'm tired of getting shot turn one. Koopa decides to sit back and watch the flank, and you'll see what happens with Koopa in a bit. And then the Goblin Horde, I decided just to leave alone because since he Vanguard up, I could actually literally shoot the entire unit, all 30 shots into that unit of 5 Heath Riders. And I was like, let's just get rid of Heath Riders right now. Alright, Magic! I also got a 2 on the Flux. Go ahead and I do, I think I do absolutely goddamn nothing. I think I only had 2 spells in range. He stopped them, and he stopped the one that was going to matter, so it was kind of just a pointless magic phase. Shooting, I do shoot his unit of Heath Riders with the 30 shots. I wipe them out to the man, I believe. It basically leaves it right there where he's going to charge. It's going to be turn 2. Sylvan Elves. Sylvan Elves turn 2. He's charging his huntsman into my iron boys. I was kind of like about this because if I would have just left the other guys there, moved up and shoot the huntsman, I probably would have got a lot less attacks from the huntsman. He probably would have chaffed himself. I don't know, but I kind of fucked this one up. Alright, so he charges in. Now, I'm already kind of like, oh shit, he's going to just do all of his attacks onto my general. My general is actually on the second slot, and the reason he's in the second slot is because I couldn't get the character to sit in a goddamn corner because the banner was sticking out so much. So that was just a laziness thing that was about to bite me in the ass. Now he has 3 guys touching Dread versus 1 or 2. And that was just a laziness issue. And I'm like, God damn, I gotta pay attention to this stuff. Right? So he gets in. Boom. Right there. As you can see, 3 guys are on Rimgor. Alright. Over here, his Heath Riders start to move up, ready to threaten if I stick there for a round. And then over here, his guys are going to move forward. And I think he was contemplating actually moving forward enough so he could have a BSB reroll in case he loses combat. And I'm like, I'm going to be honest with you. You're swinging first. And I said this to him, and his friend said this to him. I was like, you're going to win combat or be dead. That's the only 2 options out of this. Okay, you're either going to win combat or be dead. There's no need for you to bring your BSB closer. But basically, since that's the only combat going on, he's going to shoot the shit out of me, and that's what he's planning on doing. Magic, he got a 7 on the Flux, goes ahead and he puts up Awaken the Beast here. I had to stop this, or Perception Restraint, or there was another one that was slightly worse, and I was just like, you know what? Have this. It's fine. Have it. Over here, he shoots into my Grotlings. He puts a wound on. These guys shoot into the Trolls, end up putting a wound on. Shoots into Koopa, puts another wound on. The Huntsmen just rip apart. Look at this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 Iron Boys. 16 of them. Alright. Zod, God, see, there's the other Freudian slip. Dread ends up killing off about 3 by himself, okay? The Iron Boys finish off the other 3 and literally wipe out the unit. But my unit was not worth as much as his unit. His unit was worth a total of 358. Mine was worth quite a bit more, and he shredded me. All right. This is one of the things that I talked to him after the game, and I said, you know what? I shouldn't have never put him in that vulnerable position. In fairness, I probably should have put them in the field so they didn't get shot to begin with. Leave the trolls on the flank. But that's live and learn. Live and learn. Alright, turn 2, Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. Guys, I'm going to give you a 3-second warning. On a 3, 2, 1. Wog! I charge the trolls into his thicket beast. Now, I did think about this for quite some time. As you can see, that ruler's there. The ruler's there because if I charge the thicket beast and for some reason he sticks, I could go 1 wide and I'm outside of his line of sight from his blade dancers. Okay? Now, part of the reason why I did the wog charge, part of the reason why I'm doing this was for practice. And I told him that straight up. I said, I actually don't want to charge you. I don't. But I want to see what happens between thicket beasts and trolls. Okay? He even mentions it. He goes, if you're charging that far, you're going to be outside of your general's reach. And when my Iron Boys just literally depleted, there's no reason why I want to push my Iron Boys forward. Okay? So I charge up. Boom. Get in. Alright. Magic. Get a 1 on the flux. Go ahead and I give these guys Cloak of Cinders. He lets that go because he stops flaming swords, of course. Okay? Shooting, I go ahead and I shoot into his Heath Riders. I get a front shot. I kill a guy in the front, kill the second guy in the back, and I kill the third row, which ends up wiping out that back row with the skewer. Holy shit. Combat up here with the trolls. By the way, nothing else really happened in shooting. I don't have a picture of movement, and I think it was just because the people were coming by, were talking, and then there's a lack of photos going on. Over here, combat. I go ahead and I decide, do I want to swing or do I want to puke? If I puke, I got 8 pukes coming in, same time he's swinging. I might do, say, 4 wounds, and then out of the 4 wounds, I'm expecting him to make 1 or 2 ward saves, right? So I decide, you know what, let's just try it. Let me swing. I'm swinging on 5s because of the damn fence, and I do 4 wounds. And he armor saves 2 and ward saves 1. And I was like, I should have just puked. He goes back, he ends up doing a wound, he ends up just staying there, nothing happens. I go ahead and I win by 1, and I just reform into 1 rank. We're going to start off Sylvan Elves turn 3. Sylvan Elves turn 3, he gets, again, I don't really have much in movement phase. I'm going to try to skim ahead to see if I have any picture of movement. Not really. He just moved his Sylvan Elves to kind of look into the trolls, basically, because since he didn't have a counter charge, he's not going to charge me. Everything in his list shoots. Magic, he gets, it looks like a 4 phase, or maybe a 3 phase. Goes ahead and doesn't really do much in magic. I don't see much going on here. He does heal a wound on the Thicket Beast, so I don't really... No, he didn't heal him yet. I think he does awaken the beast on the Thicket Beast to make him tougher. Anyways... That's about all he does. Over here, these guys are going to start shooting the poison shots into Koopa. They end up doing 2 more wounds onto Koopa. These guys shoot all their shots into the BGKs. End up killing off the back rows. Right now, what he was planning on doing was hoping to kill enough of the BGKs where he can start picking out my unit, or my characters with his big unit, with his archer unit. He actually ended up failing to kill enough, so... they end up staying there. He ends up shooting the rest of the archers into them, leaving... Oh no, he shoots them into the Iron Orcs. He changes his mind because he didn't kill enough of the BGK unit. So he starts killing the Iron Orc unit here. Over here, close combat. I lose combat. I did 1 wound. He ended up doing, I think, 1 wound in a rank now. And my general is nowhere near the leadership bubble of these guys, so they start running. Now, I figured if they run, great. Oh well, I lose the trolls. They're going to run past my savages, past the other units, and I'm okay with that. I don't mind. There was actually a safe spot for them to land, right? What I didn't expect was them to run only 4 inches away. These fucking slow fucks chaffed my savages, so I can't even charge the savages into the goddamn trees. What the fuck? Stupid ass fucking trolls. Alright, turn 3, Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins turn 3. Trolls fail to rally, obviously, and they run through all my shit. And they run to this side over here. What ends up happening here is they will rally on the next turn. They don't run off the table. Iron Boys, I ended up just shuffling them to the right into the field to get some cover. The BGKs are out of line of sight of any danger. They just move over there. But what I ended up doing was I marched the 2 characters out of the unit and ran into the other unit of Goblins over on this side. Goblins are all just staring down at the unit up there. At the Heath Riders, and that's how the table looks. Koopa decided to go around the flank here. I did this on purpose. I moved my savages up to threaten him, and Koopa's coming up for the extra threat. I just, I got a little ballsy here. Alright, Magic got a 3 on the flux. Go ahead and I do Cloak of Cinders on the
Feral Orcs. Over here, I start shooting into his Heath Riders. This is an unholy amount. Now, I don't have the exact picture, so I'm assuming Pyromancy made it kill 3 guys on the Heath Riders. The bow shots kill off about 3 to 4 more. He has a character sticking out on the one corner, and then like 3 other dudes. And my bolt thrower goes ahead and boom! One shots the character, and then kills off another couple guys. There's only one guy left in that unit. I do believe he made his panic check, but there's only one guy left. I end up killing the shamanism guy off. Over here, I shoot into his Briar Maidens, kill off one of them. It's going to start off turn 4. Sylvan Elves. Turn 4, Sylvan Elves, he charges double charge the blades and the trees into my Feral Orcs. I knew that was going to happen. Magic, God, I can't see his goddamn cards. I just can't. I'm trying to see it. Let's see. I'm going to zoom in here. He got 6, that looks like a 6 phase, or yeah, it looks like a 6 phase. Goes ahead and gets Forced Embrace here. I kind of have to let this go. This is the lesser of the 2 evils. Over here, he shoots into Koopa, puts on another 2 wounds. Over here, he shoots into the Black Orcs, gets a couple more Black Orcs. Over here, he shoots into the Black Orcs. I think I save. No, I lose one more guy. Over here, he shoots into the BGKs, kills off 2. They do not have the Banner of Discipline anymore. The Banner of Discipline left them, but they actually held. Over here, he ends up killing off 2, 4, 5, 6 of my Feral Orcs with his Sylvan Blades. Kills off a shit ton more, and I mean a shit ton more with the Thicket Piece. Now, I attack all into the Thicket Piece. I end up only killing off 1. I put a wound onto his BSB and only kill off 1 more Sylvan Blade. But I'm going to hold on a Steadfast. And let's go start off turn 4. Orcs and Goblins. Turn 4, Orcs and Goblins. I'm going to go ahead and charge Koopa! There, he tried to chaff me with the fucking Pathfinders. But he failed his terror check. He failed it twice on a reroll. So Koopa opens up the path here. Now, I should have thought about this twice. Okay? I could have easily charged into those Pathfinders, got them for free. But I'm going to redirect into the Thicket Piece and hopefully hold the Thicket Piece. What I try to do was I try to have the Goblins push the Pathfinders off the table. So he turns, he goes through his Sentinels, hoping for another panic check. They pass their panic check. Koopa, in the meantime, redirects into the Thicket Piece flank. He will get in. Boom! Like so. Now, let's go on with this. See, Freudian slip. Dread walks behind the unit of Goblins, and he's like, "You son of a bitch," because he wanted to shoot Dread with all these goddamn shots. And I was like, nah, I'm just gonna walk where you can't even see him. There was another option I had, which I didn't see. Oh, these guys rallied, of course. The trolls rallied. I think that's why. And then Dread cannot join the Goblin unit because they are insignificant. Okay. Magic got a 7 on the flux. Go ahead, and I try to get up the Flaming Swords. Of course, he stops it. I believe I get rerolls to hit on the unit of Thicket Piece. He lets that go. Over here, close combat, I end up killing off like 5 wounds with Koopa. Koopa is just ripping this guy apart, and I mean, Koopa this whole weekend, the dice were just like, "We love you, Koopa." Boom, boom, poison, poison, poison. AP 10s, shady shanking, fucking spider hits, and fucking multi wounds. It was ridiculous. I think I did about 5 wounds to the Thicket Piece though that he didn't save. Over here, he ends up killing off the rest of my Feral Orcs, and that really screws me there because the Feral Orcs are going to die. They run. He chases with the Sylvan Blades. Now, the Blade Dancers overrun this way, but they didn't overrun too far. I think I rolled a real shit roll. Koopa sticks on a Steadfast, by the way, and he failed to wound Koopa. But Koopa only has 2 wounds left because he's been poison shot quite a few times. Okay, so he overruns here, and he doesn't overrun far. And since he can't clear my box of my unit that's right there, he has to stop where he's at. This bothers him because his charges, obviously the Goblins are going to have to flee if he charges the Goblins, but the only other unit he sees is the Iron Orcs. He could potentially get them, but there was something about the way he has to charge, which is going to fuck it up. right? So he's like, I can't even charge your unit. I don't see what he sees. He's freaking out about it. Over here, though, it's going to start off his turn. Sylvan Elves turn 5. He's going to charge into the flank of Koopa here. And basically, that's it. He decides to walk his Sylvan Blades back behind the wall so he doesn't get shot. And I think I see what it is. I think what it is if he does charge into the Iron Orcs, kills them. Either I'm going to turn around, shoot him, or I'm going to charge the trolls in, and he loses his BSB and the blades. So he decides it's not even worth it for those 3 Iron Orcs. He's just going to shoot the 3 Iron Orcs. So his Pathfinders come up. The other Pathfinders rallied at the edge of the table. The Sentinels fucking just moved over. He charges into Koopa, and his archers are chilling in the forest by the terrain. He has nothing near the objective on my side. I have nothing near the objective on his side. Over here, Magic, he got a 1 on the Flux. This is a big phase. He got a 1 on the Flux. I was very aware of this. He wasn't. He goes ahead, he does Awaken the Beast with 4 dice, and he rolls a 6. 6. 6. I'm sorry, not Awaken the Beast. Stone Skin. I was like, you blow up! And he goes, oh, it's a 666. I roll 4 dice. I go, no, man, it's the 1 phase. And, like, it took him a second for it to just, like, soak in. And he's like, shit, that means I blow up. I'm like, yep, I already knew it. As soon as I saw the dice, I was like, oh, he blew up. But it just took him that minute to just realize it. Oh my god, his fucking wizard just got sucked into the void. Now, I was telling this to Amanda before I start. I don't even know. Do I count this as Koopa's points? Because Koopa's the one that is in the unit in the fight that he's trying to stone skin. So I was like, I don't know. Do I just do that? I guess. So Koopa got the points. That was his general. That was his druidism master. So he loses that at this point. Over here, he shoots into my skewer, ends up doing 2 wounds. These guys failed to poison Koopa. They only did 1 wound. Only 1 wound. Alright? Koopa goes ahead and starts swinging into the Thicket Beast anyways, because I'm just trying to kill the amount of attacks that he has. I challenge, of course, but he doesn't give a flying fuck. He doesn't have characters there. I was just trying to get out of it where I don't get hit by everything. So I end up killing off 1, and he was like, even if I'm wounding him on 5s, and I was like, dude, Koopa's only strength 4, man. He's wounding you on 5s anyways, so I didn't care you had Stone Skin. So it's like, poison. And I killed a couple. I really contemplated. I probably should have just killed his maidens. I don't know. The maidens have a good ward save, don't they? I don't fucking know. But I was just like, if I could kill the Thicket Beast enough where he doesn't get that many attacks, maybe Koopa lives. Unfortunately, that was not the case. He ends up killing off Koopa. Oh, no. I take it back. Koopa stuck around for 1 round. Koopa's alive for 1 round. Holy shit, Koopa, you fat fuck. Jesus Christ, you are a resilient little fat motherfucker. You know that. Alright, turn 5. Is it my turn? Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins, turn 5. Alright. Dread walks over to the trolls, joins that unit. I had to. That way, if he shoots me, I don't give a fuck if he shoots me. He has to put 1 onto Dread, and then the rest onto the trolls. I'm fine with that. Alright. The BGKs are just chilling. I'm just trying to burn people. At this point, he has people in the forest. He has people behind the walls. He has people that are skirmishers. This is annoying. I can't even really shoot the guy because of how annoying he is hidden in the terrain and his, stuff. Magic, get a 4 on the Flux. Go ahead and I do a fireball. I end up burning, I don't have a picture of it, but I end up burning his sentinels in the background. I'm trying to pop them to panic, right? I kill 2. He doesn't panic. Then I turn around and I go ahead and I do like a pyro flow, and I think he fails to stop it. I burn like 6 of his blades, his blade dancers. Alright? Shooting happens. There's not much that really happens in shooting. I do kill off, I think, a couple more of the blade dancers, but that's about it. And then close combat, he ends up just poison killing Koopa. There was just nothing I could do. But you can see Koopa ended up killing off another Thicket Beast. I am trying hard to kill this Thicket Beast. I had a moment where I was like, maybe I should have just killed the poison guys. I don't know. I think I played it right the first time, but the second time it just didn't matter. And basically that's it. It's going to start off turn 6, Sylvan Elves. Sylvan Elves turn 6. He moves his Briar Maiden's all the way over here outside of my line of sight. He basically is going to just shoot me. There's not much else he can do. Magic, he got a 8 phase, but at this point he only has one wizard with Ice and Fire and Perception and Strength, so I just stopped the Ice and Fire. Over here he ends up shooting my Skewer. I think the Skewer lives actually. It's going off turn 6. Orcs and Goblins, turn 6. I go too wide, which would have been like fucking, I don't know, or too thick, I should say, and it's like putting me like 17 wide or something stupid. But it's my turn 6. He doesn't have a turn. I can't get to the objective, so I'm just going to shoot into whatever I can. The Skewer ends up picking up the one guy hiding back there. That was the single Heath Rider that was still in the objective. Over here, I end up getting Flaming Swords up and shoot into his unit of Sentinels. Kill off the Sentinels. But that was it. By the way, I had Bazooka and Baxter in that unit, so that gave that unit quick to fire, so that's why I went too wide to move up, so everybody's in range, and it doesn't even matter because they're quick to fire, and I got everybody to shoot still. So I ended up killing off the Sentinels, hoping for some panics. Nobody gave us flying shit. That was it for my practice round. Alright. Let me go to a picture here where you could kind of get a better view of what's going on here. What ended up happening is neither one of us got the objective. I knew that was going to happen. It was just like, whatever. I kind of had a feeling that was going to happen from the beginning once he put the terrain. He was a little like, I wouldn't say frustrated, but more like flustered because of how I was handling not getting shot, moving Zod out, moving Baxter Bazooka out, using the trolls for cover. I did fuck up by putting the trolls into the thick of bees. I said it straight up. I want to see how this goes, and that's what happens. You know what happens when trolls hit trees? Nothing. I did a wound, he did a wound. Nothing happened, and then I lost by a fucking rank. Okay, it was just a dumb fight. It's regen versus toughness and ward save. It was a dumb fight. The trolls into anything else I would have destroyed him. He ended up winning by, I think, like 11-9, just slightly more than me. His general was worth about what Koopa was worth, and then I killed off like Heath Riders. He killed off my Iron Orcs, and my Ferals. So I did lose more points than him, but not by much. I lost one extra. I only lost 1 point. Now, he's like, oh, it wasn't that bad. Maybe I could handle this in another match. I go, I'm going to be honest with you, 100% honestly. I said it to him. I'll say it to you guys on YouTube. You give me this match again, if I were to play Belgium, I would gladly take it because it would not happen the same way. I know what will happen with Trolls versus Trees. That will not happen again. I know how his units fight now, and I have a better idea. He is a smart player, and I do give him a lot of credit for using the cover and the wall and everything like that, but that wouldn't be the case next time. I can guarantee you that we're not going to get the same map. We're going to get a different map, and there's a lot less walls than there are, So it was one of those scenarios that I was like, I know how to handle it better. We had a conversation about it, but he's like, I would rate this yellow. I said, I would still rate this a green. Because my Pyromancy loved this list. It really did. Alright. So like I said, this was a practice round. It was a lot of fun to actually play. It was a lot of fun. I didn't have the stress of the tournament. Honestly, this whole weekend, I didn't really have that stress of the tournament. And I think that had a lot to do with the fact that I didn't do ESC before. ESC is usually like, okay, 5 games. This year, ESC was 6 games. And I would have loved to give you guys 5 more games of practice before I did the ETC. But the stupid-ass vote, just screwed that over. And I'm like, and then people are like, oh, couldn't you just play a similar list? I'm like, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm not going to bring... First of all, my models, my black orcs, are so heavy because they're metal that they wanted to charge me what is that called? A check-in fee on the flight because the bag was too heavy. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm not gonna do that. First of all, it's fucking fragile miniatures, and I'm not letting you check it in. But they were giving me so much shit at the airline I took because of the weight of it. It was 2 pounds over. 2 pounds. Or no, it's 2 kilos, so 4 pounds over. I was like, God damn, Black Orcs being metal. I gotta bring plastic now. Anyways, so there's just no way in hell I was going to bring a second list, a second technical army to the event just to play in the ESC. I was like, and not only that, how dumb is it if I would get like, oh, they have Brood Rivalry, and then try to pull that in like ETC, not on purpose, but because I'll be confusing the rules. I said I don't even want to look at the new book, right? Coincidentally, Balden, who helped write the book, me and him had a lot of conversations. We're still having conversations. Right before I recorded this, I was having a conversation with him about hopeful potential changes in the future for the Orcs and Goblin book, because as is right now the new book, they have no love for orcs, a lot of love for goblins. Every single person, and if you go in my comment section and say there's a plenty of viable orc and goblin lists, it's always a goblin list, and you don't fucking lie to me. All right, you don't fucking lie to me. The goblins are great, but make orcs great again, okay? God. Anyways, like I said, this list, honestly, I was actually surprised when I looked at the points at how well some of my units did and how poor some of my units did against the Sylvan Elves. All right, we're going to start off at the top. King Koopa, I did not expect Koopa to be the top points. Now, Koopa got a couple points off of the Thicket Beast. Koopa got a couple points off of shooting some random dude, I believe. But most of his points were the wizard blowing up. So let's just be fair. Koopa got a big head start just because the wizard blew up trying to kill Koopa. Okay, but part 2 is the Goblin Horde with the 30 goblins did 700 points. That is insane amount of points. Insane. The Heath Riders, the freaking the Blade Dancers, anybody who got hit with a bow basically died to these guys, and they racked up 700 points. The Baxter the Pyromaniac got third place with 437. Then the next one is actually the Skewerers. The Skewers got 308 points, one more point than Dread's Iron Boys. That is crazy. So, like, if you were to tell me who would have been the top points in a Sylvan Elf versus Orc and Goblin list, I would not have said. I would have thought it would have been obviously Pyro, then Trolls, and then, like, I don't know, Savage Orcs or something. You know what I mean? Like something that would have got into combat and started overrunning into other shit. I would never have expected it to just be the bow shots, the Skewer, and Koopa. Never. The Foot Clan ended up getting what was that, 5th place? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6th place. BGKs ended up getting 7th because they got shot to shit early, and the Trolls ended up only doing 2 wounds on the tree, the Thicket Beasts. But that was enough to get me 9 points, and like I said, it was just a proper practice. I end up getting my first real game against France. Literally in 2 more days. At the end of this, we did come back for ESC the next day to hang out with some friends, Amanda and I. But it was kind of just to have like dinner with the team. Half the team was there already. This is George, Lucas, and Gonzalo. And then everybody else started showing up the next day, which was Jesse, Javier, Johnny. Who am I missing? Titty. All right. Amanda and I had this wonderful breakfast at this place. The first hotel we had fucking awesome fucking breakfasts. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and jump ahead just for a second. This was the end of day 2 ESC. End of day 2 ESC, our boy Gonzalo ended up getting 2nd place. I got to give him a big congratulations here. 2nd place last year, he took 1st place. This year, he took 2nd. That is just amazing that he can stay consistently on the top. Both years, he did it with Saurian Ancients, so I'm just really proud of Gonzalo for that. And Gonzalo is a fun guy just to have on the team. He's good energy. Yeah, next game is our first ETC game against France. And, yeah. We'll see how that goes. All right, guys. I'm going to give you guys as much of a breakdown as possible, as much as I could remember. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed making it. Till next time, take care and peace.